Hello everyone, welcome to Spellbound Studio. My name is Tracy, and this is Folklore Friday. Before we get started, please become a star in the Spellbound constellation by liking, subscribing, sharing, or leaving a comment. There are roads that we choose, and there are roads that choose us. In witchcraft lore, folk tales, and in the vast, tangled mythology of the Marvel Universe, one of the most important paths that a witch can walk is the kind that reveals who they truly are. In Agatha All Along, that road has a name. It's called the Witch's Road. This is an ancient test. It's a sentient gauntlet of magic that decides who is worthy of calling themselves a true witch. But before we get into the full video, I want to ask you, when you first heard about the Witch's Road, this concept in the TV show, what did you think that it would be like? And if you had to face a magical trial yourself, which one would scare you the most? Memory, desire, power, or sacrifice? And do you think that the witches of the MCU should get more lore like this? Why or why not? So what is the Witch's Road? At first glance, it looks like it's a different realm. Locked behind a spell, it's accessible only to witches who seek to prove themselves. But on a mythic level, the road is not a place, it's a process. It's a rite. And it's also an ancient contract. Unlike many Marvel Cinematic Universe magical spaces like the Mirror Dimension, or Mount Wundagore, or the Darkhold's Labyrinth of Illusions, the Witch's Road is very witch-centric. It's not for sorcerers or mutants. It's not for mortals who are dabbling with a spell book because they're bored. It's designed for actual witches, beings whose magic is tied to identity, intention, and lineage. And it forces them to confront the parts of themselves that they would rather hide. It's the magical equivalent of a blood-encoded lock. You can't just stumble into it, you have to want it. And once you're inside, the road reflects that intention right back at you until you either break from it, until you break away from it, or until you die. It's also ancient. The structure of the trials implies a long lineage of witches who have walked it before. Enough for the road to have developed a set of almost folkloric rules. Every witch faces trials tailored to their nature. No two roads look exactly the same. The road is only completed by those willing to confront truth. Lies crumple, masks fall off, and self-mythology burns to ash. Now, the power is the reward, but it's not really the purpose. Completing the road is not about leveling up, it's about stripping down. So in many ways, the Witch's Road is an initiation ritual. Not an initiation into a coven, but into oneself. The trials of the Witch's Road are not just obstacles, they're also emotional archetypes. They are designed to test the deepest parts of a witch's nature, not their spellcasting ability, but their integrity. Although the specific imagery shifts from witch to witch, the trials generally encompass four major categories. It says the trial of memory is who were you before the magic. This is almost always where the road starts. The witch is confronted with the earliest pieces of herself, childhood wounds, betrayals, foundational lies This is a trial that asks what forged your power, what broke you, what made you seek magic in the first place. And for Agatha, this is especially important. Her very origin is a knot of desperation, punishment, and self-preservation. Her first trial would likely make her relive not just trauma, but the moment that she realized that power could be both salvation and damnation. In myth, the memory trials represent the uncovering of original wounds because no witch can control her magic if she cannot bear the truth of where it came from. The trial of desire. What do you really want? Here the road confronts the witch not with fear but with temptation. Desire trials ask, if nothing stood in your way, if you had no consequences, no morals, or no witnesses, what would you take? So desire is dangerous in general, but for witches, the magic amplifies the intention. A witch who lies about what she wants loses control of her power. A witch who knows what she wants but cannot admit it, she risks becoming corrupt. The trial separates witches whose intentions are grounded in truth from those whose intentions are self-delusion wrapped in spellcraft. It's also the most human trial because if we're honest, none of us always wants the noble thing. And then there's the trial of power. It's, can you resist becoming the monster you fear? And this is where the darker versions of themselves are confronted. The selves that they could become if they stopped caring. For some, this trial might show them at the height of destructive potential, and for others, it might tempt them with the seductive ease of domination. And this is often the most dangerous stage, because power is both a gift and a poison. Witches who complete the road must prove that they can wield the power, but that they can survive without being consumed. And in Agatha's case, of course, this is loaded. She has already survived tremendous power, and she's been corrupted by it. She's been judged for it and even punished for it. Her trial would not simply be about resisting power, but facing the truth that sometimes she used her power poorly. Then we come to the trial of sacrifice, which is, what will you give up to become who you must be? And this requires loss. It forces the witch to surrender something, an illusion, a shield, a relationship, a memory of her past. Sometimes it's symbolic, sometimes it's literal, but the road requires a shedding, a metamorphosis, if you will. Witches who pass do so because they're willing to evolve. Witches who fail to do so, they fail because they cling to what kills them. This trial is not really about punishment, it's about transformation. It's the death and rebirth cycle that sits at the very heart of witchcraft. Now, who completes the road and why are they chosen? Because not every witch is meant to even walk the witch's road in the first place. Some are too young, some are too arrogant, and some don't really need it. Their magic is stable, their identity is whole, and their intentions are aligned. So it seems like that the road attracts three different types of witches. There's the lost witch. Her identity is fractured, incomplete, or buried under years of survival mechanisms. These witches need the road because they cannot move forward until they understand where they are. And the road helps them find themselves or reveal themselves. And this is Agatha's category. She is powerful, but she's fractured. She's smart, but she does not have any direction. And she is capable, but she's not really grounded. Next type of witch that walks the road is the unworthy witch. Not unworthy in the sense of bad, but unworthy as in disconnected from their power. It has potential but lacks grounding. Magic is unfocused, reactive, unstable. They walk the road not to gain more power, but to learn to control the power that they already have. The witches who fall into this category, who complete the road, become whole. Then you have the chosen witch, and this is rare. This is a witch whose destiny intersects with something larger, a witch whose power will shape the world for good or for bad. And the road calls them because the universe itself needs them tested. For a chosen witch, the road is both a safeguard and a prophecy. If you're going to be this powerful, we need to know who you are. So, for example, a character like Wanda Maximoff would have walked the road under different circumstances, not to gain power, but to survive it. What does completion of the road actually mean? And here's what, if you've watched Agatha All Along, you might not have realized this, that completing the witch's road does not guarantee purity or moral goodness or even stability. But what it does guarantee is truth. A witch who completes the road becomes inseparable from her real self. Her magic aligns with her identity. Her power becomes coherent, unified, and intentional. So if you complete it, then you have clarity of identity, a control over your magical intention. You're free from self-delusion. You have a deeper connection to your lineage. And you have the authority to practice high-level witchcraft. The road may not grant new power, but the more important reward is self-possession. For Agatha, completion would finally settle the central conflict in her life. Her power has always been immense, but her self-understanding has never really caught up to it. The road would force her to stop being in a collection of masks and start being a whole witch. So on a narrative level, the road is Agatha's hero journey, but it's also her villain's journey, her survivor's journey, and her redemption arc all at once. And it matters because Agatha needed a crucible and not a punishment. Wanda punished her, the coven tried to kill her, but none of that changed her. But the witch's road did. The road reframes witchcraft as a spiritual discipline and not a chaotic force. Marvel Cinematic Universe witches are often shown as messy, dangerous, and unpredictable. But the road introduces structure, a magical rite with rules, consequences, and purpose. And the road explains why witches in this universe are rare. Most people don't want to face this kind of inner truth, and most witches fail before they even try. But it gives Agatha a path towards agency. She's been reacting for most of her life to trauma, to power, to Wanda, to punishment. The road is the first time that she gets to choose her own story. It also expands the magical cosmology of the universe. The road is one of the first examples of witch-specific lore and not sorcerer lore. It opens the door for future witchcraft stories beyond Agatha. Ultimately, the Witch's Road is the MCU's way of saying witches are not born, they're made, through truth, trial, and willingness to see themselves fully. Now, beyond the Marvel Cinematic Universe lore, the Witch's Road resonates because it mirrors something real, the journey of becoming oneself. Every person faces the trial it represents. Memory is facing the wounds that shaped you. Desire is admitting what you actually want. Power is resisting the ease of becoming your worst self. Sacrifice is letting go of who you were to become who you're meant to be. So this, dramatizes a universal human truth. We all have to walk our own version of a road. And like every witch who survives it, we come out on the other side a little more dangerous, a little more whole, and a lot more ourselves. So now I also want to ask, what trial do you think that Agatha failed before she ever even reached the road? And if you could redesign one of the trials, what would you add to the Witch's Road? And most importantly, do you think that Agatha, if we were to see her in another TV series or comic book or something after this. How will this have changed her? I would really love to hear your thoughts, so leave me a comment. So getting back to what we were saying earlier is that some roads are chosen and some roads are callings. The witch's road is both. It's an ancient mirror held up to a witch's soul, and it's a test of identity and power. It asks for honesty, sacrifice, and the willingness to face every fractured version of yourself and still step forward. For Agatha, it's not a path to become someone new, but the path to finally become the witch that she has been all along. All right, everybody. Well, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay creative and stay spellbound.